In this tutorial, I will be guiding you through the process of creating Gel-X nails. The process involves 3 main stages. Number 1, preparing the natural nail. Number 2, applying the soft gel tips. And number 3, creating the desired design. The first step of preparing the natural nail is going to be buffing. You will need an electric nail filer for the preparation. Along with an e-file, you will also need a fine grit sanding bit to buff the natural nail plate. Being demonstrated in the video, I have the e-file set to 5,000 RPM and I am lightly buffing the nail plate. The RPM stands for rotations per minute, and having it at 5,000 RPM will ensure light pressure to avoid overfiling. You want to work across the whole surface of the nail plate and ensure that you are being careful when working near the cuticle to avoid bleeding. By buffing, you are going to remove the natural oils and the shiny layer from the nail plate by creating a slightly rough surface. By having a textured surface, you can ensure proper adhesion of the gel later on in the process. Your next step of preparation of the natural nail is going to be cuticles. Being demonstrated in the video, I am applying some of the cuticle softener to each finger and massaging it into my cuticle area. Now, here I have a cuticle pusher and a cuticle scraper. With the cuticle pusher, I am pushing back the cuticles to expose any dead skin beneath them. After pushing back all of the cuticles, I then take the cuticle scraper and remove the dead skin on the nails by scraping the nail plate near the cuticles. I then take my cuticle nippers and remove the dead skin on the actual cuticle line. By removing the dead skin and preparing your cuticles properly, you will have a clean, smooth nail surface which will ensure proper adhesion to the gel. Your next step is going to be sizing your tips. When sizing, we want to ensure that the tips are fitting sidewall to sidewall, and it is important to correctly size to ensure long retention and avoid any discomfort. Here I am, sizing each of my fingers and ensuring that the tips fit sidewall to sidewall. Now I am using the Appraise Gel-X preparation system. The process is dehydrator, primer, and then the Gel-X preparation liquid. You want to dehydrate each nail to remove excess oils and moisture from the natural nail. This works by temporarily drying out the nail plate. Now using the primer, you want to prime the nail plate, and here you can see I am priming each nail with the primer. You want to apply the primer to each nail plate, and the primer will improve the adhesion between the natural nail and the gel tip. Now you are going to want to apply a base coat of Extend-Gel onto each nail to maximize retention. You then want to cure this for 60 seconds underneath the big lamp. Now you are going to need your Gel-X preparation liquid. You are going to want to turn each tip upside down and locate the area that it will contact your natural nail, and apply a thin, even layer of the etching product to this area. Chemical etching enhances adhesion between the nail tip and the natural nail by creating a micro rough surface on the underside of the tip where it will then bond to the nail. After chemically etching the insides of each tip, we are now on to stage 2, application of the tips. Using your Extend-Gel, you want to place a layer of Extend-Gel on the underside of the gel tip in the area where it was etched. Then, using the side of the brush, you want to apply a dollop of the Extend-Gel at the bottom of the tip. After applying the gel, you can now apply your tips. You want to make sure that you have a flash cure lamp to make the application of the tips easier. You want to apply your tips at a 45-degree angle as demonstrated. Before curing under the flash cure lamp, ensure that there are no air bubbles, as those mean that the gel is not completely on the nail plate. Flash cure and repeat this process for the rest of the tips. Once all of the tips have been flash cured, you can then fully cure them underneath the big lamp for 60 seconds. Now that we've applied the tips, we now want to buff and remove the shine from the Gel-X tips using the e-file at 10 RPM and a fine grit sanding bit. Buffing will remove the shine and create a slightly rough surface which will allow your gel polishes to grip better. Shiny surfaces are smooth and will make it harder for the gel polish to bond effectively. After buffing the surfaces of each nail tip, we now want to switch our bit to a carbide ball bit to blend the cuticle. I am gently working the ball bit across the cuticle areas to ensure that there is no visible ridge or gap between the enhancement and the natural nail. When finished, we can now dust off the excess dust to prepare for shaping and filing. Before shaping and filing, cut down each nail tip to your desired length. To shape the tip, we want to work with a 180 grit hand file. You can shape it to whatever shape you desire. For my nails, I chose to do an almond shape. After I've shaped them to my desired shape, before I apply any gel polishes, I like to take a flat brush and dip it in some acetone to further refine the blend with the cuticle. The acetone will slightly melt the top layer of the enhancement, which helps to smooth out any roughness or uneven surfaces. You're going to want to do this for all of the remaining fingertips. Before applying any gel polishes, you are also going to want to take a nail brush and some rubbing alcohol and scrub the nails. This is going to remove any leftover dust or debris from filing and shaping the nails and any remnants of dead skin around or under the nail. Now before beginning your design, you want to apply a base coat. The base coat is going to create a smooth surface for the rest of your gel polishes by filling in ridges and imperfections on the nail, creating a uniform base for the gel polish application. After applying your base coat, you're going to want to cure this underneath the UV lamp for 60 seconds. After curing, you can now begin your design. Typically, nail art begins with a nude base color, so I chose a nude base color and I did a couple of coats of that. It is also helpful to have an inspiration or reference photo for your art. For my art, I took inspiration from this photograph. I specifically liked the pink detailing, the cheetah print, and the 3D flowers, so I made sure to incorporate those elements into my own art. The remainder of this tutorial is a montage of me completing my design. So this is my final design. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful, and thank you all for watching.